Bradley J. for Steve Lavelli. WBZ News Radio 1030. There's something specific, it's interesting about, I believe it's interesting about Massachusetts, and particularly the Boston Common, that makes, there have been attempts to ban this Freedom Rally in the past, and due to the laws of the Commonwealth, particularly dealing with that piece of land, you have to allow protests, isn't it? Or something like that, correct?
Absolutely. Yeah, the Mayor Menino actually tried to shut us down.
A genuine protest must be allowed.
Yeah, and we the ACLU and MassCann took them to court. And yeah, you have to allow groups like us to have public free speech, and we're big time. You know, that's one of the biggest things. We've almost been shut down by the city. We've almost been shut down by hurricanes, and it's the local people that have supported us.
Right.
Kept us. They understand this free speech issue.
So, listen to what I say about the Freedom Fest. It's not for going down there and smoking pot. That doesn't advance the cause at all. What you need to do, people, is look at the larger picture. And remember that Boston is the birthplace of this sort of thing. It's like the Tea Party. It's like, it's not that different than the Boston Tea Party, at least qualitatively. You know, this is the home of a lot of protests like this that have formed our country. And this is no different. This is a genuine protest against a stupid law, like the Stamp Act, or like the tea tax, etc. Same exact thing.
You mentioned the Boston Common. They used to grow hemp on the Boston Common.
Yeah, for sales and stuff.
Yeah. You know, it's I know it's kind of a separate subject, but you know, it's intertwined, and no pun intended. But you know, it's kind of interesting.
Yes.
They used to grow hemp on the Boston Common, and now here we are trying to fight for the right to even, you know, use the same plant.
Now, before you go, tell me what the world will be like if this passes when it comes to the law. And,
you know, I think what you're going to see is it's going to be like cigarettes. You know, it's 18 plus right now for cigarettes, but in Massachusetts, use of cigarettes is down among teens and adults. And, you know, if you look at cannabis that's been illegal over the last 10 or 15 years, the use is up with kids and adults. So, you know, what I think is going to happen is that we're going to save money and resources. The courts, the police are going to be able to focus on real criminals, real crime. You're going to save some tax money, which we desperately need in Massachusetts. And I think the second biggest thing is that a lot of kids and a lot of younger people my age, you know, 30, 20, they're not going to flee the state because they've got a criminal conviction for marijuana when they could go work in Rhode Island and not have to worry about this. So I think you're going to also see more, you know, workers stay in the state and not be penalized for life. And I think those two things are, you know, 2 or 3 things right there are huge for us.
If the ballot question ends up in the positive and passes, so to speak, what will the rules be then? What will the situation be?
The situation would be if you're caught with 1 ounce of cannabis or less, that the police could take the cannabis, which they will, and they'll write you a civil fine. It's basically like a parking ticket. As long as you pay that $100 fine, you're all set. It's not on your record. If you don't pay it, then, you know, they could take you to court and they could go criminal, just like a parking ticket. If you don't pay them, you could end up getting charged criminally. Same thing. It's basically, you know, if you go to Great Woods Day or any, you know, great, you know, concert, what you're going to see is a lot of kids smoking marijuana and the police looking the other way because it's a concert. And in this case, they would walk around and they're going to collect the cannabis, confiscate it, and they're going to write out $100 tickets. So what you'll see is that people will not be harassed in their homes. They won't be harassed for, you know, responsible use. But if you're being a meathead and smoking a joint in front of a bunch of kids, well, you're going to lose your pot and you're going to get a fine.
Right. It'll be a moneymaker for the state.
That's it. Absolutely. And that's
$100 a pop.
Yep.
When they have their meetings before they go on a patrol and say, you know, we need you to earn some money. Go catch some kids smoking. All right. Once again, what's the official word for the event on the Common? At noontime.
Yep.
So go there in your best behavior and be prepared to be part of a real thing that is really right smack dab in the context of what Boston is all about. And thank you very much, Michael.
Thank you, Bradley J. WBZ.
All right. It's break time, Rob? All right, let's do it. Just a quick break, and we'll have more for you at WBZ News Radio 1030.
You're listening to the Steve Lavelli broadcast on WBZ News Radio 1030.
No, on the pot thing.
Oh, yes. On November 4, there will be a ballot question. Should marijuana be legalized? It will be binding. How are you going to vote?
Oh, I've always said it should be legalized. I mean, I've never met a violent pothead unless they're mixing it with something else. I mean, when's the last time I heard of a pothead beating his wife, for example?
That's right.
I mean, it's just... And also...
What would happen if you made the Taliban smoke pot? I wonder if they'd get... Would terrorists become mellow?
Yeah, I mean, if Osama bin Laden, you know, smoked a joint before he went to bed, he wouldn't have, you know, we wouldn't have had 9/11.
He would have forgotten?
Right. I believe that. People think I'm doing tongue-in-cheek. I sincerely believe that. I told Steve a very long time ago the answer to world peace is if all the despot dictators of the world, before they go to bed, untuck their shirt, tickle their belly, and smoke a joint, and then they'll giggle and forget about everything.
That's sage advice, Glenn. Thank you. It's always good to talk to you.
Yeah, you too.
All right. That's Glenn keeping the light burning, the midnight human whale blubber oil in, right. Is it traffic time? Wow! Let's check the traffic with Greg Vine, WBZ News Radio 1030.